All right, you're welcome to. Hello. Hello, hello. If you can hear me, you're welcome to today's session. In today's class, I'll be teaching you how to design websites and web app, right? That's our major purpose of tonight's class. We'll be talking about website and web app, right? So when it comes to the UI design field, there's something you need to know. Um, Clients don't just want mobile apps, right? They want website and mobile apps. Are we getting? Are you following? If you just joined the class, put your name. I want to be sure you are hearing me. Put in your name and where you are joining from. Your name, where you are joining from. Your name, where you are joining from. Put in your name and where you are joining from. If you just joined the class, put in your name and where you are joining from. I need to be sure you can hear me. So put in your name and where you are joining from. Let's communicate. All right, I can see Oreolua Elizabeth from Ogun State. Amazing. Put in your name where you are joining from. Let's connect. Today's class is going to be exciting, and the goal is to give you the best information that can set you up for something amazing in the UX design space, right? Runo, yeah, Runo is our newest student. Runo, you're welcome. So we've been getting along for some time now, and I've made available every resource you need to move you from an absolute beginner to pro, right? At least I'm giving you information that will help you do your first UI UX design project, which is a mobile app, right? But app is not all there is to UI UX design. So in this class, what I'm planning to do for us is that I want to show us website, right? And I mentioned that this is going to be the last class for for June. We'll go on a break. Then in August, we'll start our remote job class. So for those persons that just joined us for the first time, you are welcome. It's amazing to have you. I've put in all the resources. The way tech works, right? And it has helped me over the years. I've come to realize that all you need in tech, if you want to succeed, is the right information, right? And what I'm doing in course of my design mentorship is that I'm making available this information to you. Have gathered some resources that's going to help you, and I've also come live over the past months. Every material will be made available to all students, right? Whether the main course or the live class, it will be made available to you. All you just need is to take it step by step and ask questions where necessary, and boom, you just see yourself doing amazing things in the design space. So what we'll be doing today is website and web app. So when it comes to tech, we have webs. I know some persons might confuse website for web app. I'm going to show you the difference in this class. There's a difference. So let me share my screen shortly. I'll show you the difference. In this class, we'll cover the difference, the design components. We'll talk about the structure, and I'm going to show you reference websites where you can leverage on to get your own design set. So I'll share my screen right now. Let me share my screen. I'm trying to share my screen. Of course, I'm going to share my entire screen. So let me just share my entire screen. All right, I'm sharing my entire screen right now. So I'll just get, I was on ChatGPT earlier today, just trying to be sure, because my goal is to make this as simple as possible so that even a primary school student should be able to go through these materials and do something amazing for themselves. So the first thing I need us to know is that there's a difference between website and web app, right? There's a difference between website and web app. Some web app has websites, you understand? But I'm going to explain the difference right now. So Website versus web app. The core difference is this: a website is primarily informational. A website is meant to pass information, right? While a web app is primarily interactive and functional. So while websites pass information, you understand, web app are interactive. Let me just break it to be very simple to us. Websites requires that you log in. You understand? Website requires that you log in. So web app, all those. Why website? You don't need to log in. You just go to the domain, maybe facebook.com. Facebook is a web app, mind you. I'm just using the domain for reference. So when you go to us, explore them right now in this class, practical. My classes are 100% practical. So, but when it comes to web app, you'll be required to create an account. So some of you know Jumia, type Jumia. You know Konga, type Konga. If you know Amazon, some of these websites to interact with, right, you have to create an account. Apart from these ones I've mentioned, if you know any other web app that you create an account, they ask you to log in, sign up, type it in the chat section. If you know any web app, type it in the chat section. We're interacting. I'm telling that website has information, while web app, you can interact and it's functional. So apart from Jumia, Konga, Amazon I've mentioned, any other web app you have used, even LinkedIn. You know LinkedIn, right? Let me open my LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn, Twitter, amazing. Those social media websites, what am I even calling it? Those social media platforms, right? They are the web app. Web app will require you to create an account and log in. Why website is information. So some business pages, example of website, switch to website. Example of website are portfolio, right? Business, even let's explore, let's quickly. My network is cutting. I hope it's not. So if I go to NLNG, and that's what come to my head, nlng.com. Okay, NLNG itself has, okay, let me just go to recruitment and see something. So if I go to nlng.com and I click on careers, some of you know that because any application that you need to log in and do interactive posting takes effect, like LinkedIn, Facebook, those are web apps, right? But when it comes to websites, okay, this is an example of a website right now. So this is LNG website. You see the home page. I'm showing you this so that let me put my picture, so that in case you get a gig, right? In case you get a gig that requires you to design a website for a client, not all websites are web apps, right? So websites have stated that you don't need to log in. So it's just information. Look at LNG now, for instance. You will see this is their homepage. Why is my network doing this to me? Nigeria is turning to something else, right? Let me just disconnect and connect back. And connect back. Amazing, amazing. If you can hear me, say I can hear you. It's up now. It's up. So YouTube is a web app. Pinterest, where you create an account, is a web app. But for website, this is navigation bar. I can go to NLNG it takes me to that page. So what you have in the website is just different pages, then your navigation bar to take you to different pages. And the whole essence of your website is for information purpose. If you are following me, type information, type website equals to information, web app equals to functionality, website equals information, web app equals functionality. So for websites, we get to see something like this, a practical example, home page. Let me look for another website. Medium is not a website. Medium is a web app because you can create your account. Let me type top consulting firm, consulting consulting firm, firms in US. I like foreign people, so let's leave me and Nigeria for now. When it comes to business, I like, so when you type something like on Google companies, let me open them. I'll open this with a new link. Open this Baker Trilly Lek. If you check this website, you will notice that what you will see there is information. You understand? You won't be asked to log in or sign up. All you will see is I see inside industry services event. So any of this thing you click, it's taking you to a page, right? When a client asks you to design a website for them, they are asking you to simply design informational platforms, right? Where people, they share those information with their potential information about that company. So most times companies have, but you can see something like this. So solutions, industry, inside careers, about contact. There is not going to be anything like login. You understand? So let's now go to web app. If you are following me, let's go to web app. So when it comes to web app, you have to interact. So I'll go to my LinkedIn right now and I'll press linkedin.com. So anything that has to do with interaction, where you will need to log in, sign up, it's a web app. We'll soon get to how to do this stuff, right? What's the difference between a website and a web app? You can clearly state that, right? Oh my God. Let me make this big. I'm trying to open my LinkedIn. I don't know why my network is just living like what, I don't know. Okay, I think it's up. So you can see I am showing my dashboard, right? My home feed. So if I go to my dollar account, I'm not going to open down, don't bother, but just these are some of the apps. I'm just Instagram, GigPay. GigPay is my dollar platform where I receive my payment from clients. So anything that you can see login, right? So you have websites, right? So some web app, right? Like some of these fintech web app and some other stuff. When you go to their domain name, which is geekpay.africa in this case, you will see information aside. So this information part is the website. So when a client reach out to you, like, okay, need that. Okay, I am. So when a client reach out to you and says, okay, design me a web app or something, a product, you just need to, you want to ask them, okay, what's the product about? What's the functionality, all of that, right? So if you're able to know this, you can now know, okay, am I doing a website for it? But I'm really not loving my network. I will not lie. So let's now get into how to create this stuff. So I'll quickly jump into my Figma. We started by mentioning the difference, right? So when you want to design a website, I already taught this in a course where we talk about different frame size, and I told you that if you want to create your frame web app, if you want to design a website, right, once you come to your frame, you will see where I'm clicking. I don't want to be too fast. See where I'm hovering my mouse. After your first tool, the next tool is your frame tool. So if I click on the frame, I'll see phone frame, tablet frame. I'm currently doing, okay, I recently completed a design that is what's it called, was designed on a tablet, right? The app is also function in a tablet. Then I got another project from my company where I'll be designing an application for kids, right? And most kids use tablets. You understand? So the app is going to be responsive on tablet and web. You understand? It's a web app, right? A learning platform. So any platform that requires people to create an account is a web app, right? So if you want to design a website or a web app, you've now known the difference. The next thing is, how do you design it? How do you select a frame for that? You come to your frame, come over to your control panel, click on this desktop. So when you click on desktop, this drop down, you will see 4 different sizes or even more: MacBook Air, MacBook 14 inches, MacBook 16, and desktop. When I started my journey as a designer, right, I think I was using, oh my god, I'm not sharing my screen. You can't see my screen. Sorry. Let me share. So when I started my journey as a designer, I was using HP 15 laptop. It was 16 inches, right? Look at it. So those days when I'm designing, some of you already know this. So, but we're majorly used to mobile. So I'm introducing to web. So you come to frame, click on your frame. See, I'm on my toolbox. You come over to this control panel. You will see phone. If you are designing for iPhone, any size, right, you use your phone. If you are designing a mobile, I recommend you use iPhone 13 and 14 or iPhone 14 and 15 Pro, right? Just stay within this range. But if you are designing for a web, sometimes they might even ask you to design website for to be responsive, right? So you are going to design for both mobile and web. So if you want to design for web, you click on desktop to select the screen. You see MacBook Air, MacBook 14, MacBook 16 Pro. That's 16 inches, 14 inches Air. Then desktop. I was saying it, so when I started my design journey, I was using HP 15 laptop. It was 16 inches, right? So those days when I want to do my design, I usually select MacBook 16 Pro, 16 inches rather. Then later I switched to a MacBook. My MacBook was 14 inches. So I started designing with MacBook Pro 14. All this while I had not started working for the company I currently work with, right? I just started out. I was doing side gigs and all of that. So but when I got into my company, I met other designers, you get. So I realized that they use desktop. You understand? So maybe it's industry standard. I can't really say, but if you are designing for web, use this size, or you can choose to use any of this anyways. But the beautiful thing about MacBook 14 and 16 inches is this: when you want to do your design presentation, the way we have our mobile frames, right, you can get the frame from MacBook 14 inches and 16 inches, but there is no frame for desktop. So if you want to do your desktop presentation, you just see the way it is. Let me show you an instance. Okay, I'll click on desktop to bring in that frame. So you can see desktop one, right? Somebody will be asking, so take for instance now this website NLNG. If I click on operations, it takes me to the operation page. So how do I do this? So I'll have a home, NLNG, operation, train, career, contactors. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pages, right? We'll get to components shortly, but I'm showing you step by step. You've known the difference. Now we're talking about how to create it on Figma. I'm trying to show you the frame, which I just did. You come to your toolbox, select your frame, choose desktop. You can choose to explore 14 inches and 16 inches, right? So let me show you what I was talking about when it comes to presentation. So if I click on this information architecture, every desktop web frame I have here, I use desktop. You can see all of this. I use desktop to create those frames. Hovering. If I click on present, um, hold on, it's loading. On present, I want to see that. Um, okay, while waiting for it to load, I can come over to prototype. If I go to, let me click outside and click on device. This device, this stuff now, you see different. See what I have here: MacBook Air, MacBook 14, MacBook 16. So if you design on 14 inches and you want to do your presentation, you are using 16 inches, your design will not fit in properly. Let me show you what I mean. So right now I'm using desktop, but if I click on 16 inches, for instance, as my frame, it's going to show here. You can see the frame, right? So this just is just going to show me how my design will look like on real stuff, right? So let's now go to the presentation and see. I click present to check this stuff. So see what's going to happen now. It's loading. Do I need to load it again? Please, if you are following, type I'm following. I want to be sure you are following me. If you are following me, type I'm following. Let me reload that. I'm reloading it. While waiting for this, let me encourage us. If you've not started your project, right? I was in church today, and one of the words I got that really touched me. Let me even check my phone. I had to put it in my notes pad. Um, Pastor said, "Weak men don't rule." A lot of persons sign up for a program like this, but they don't push through to the end. The truth is, everybody you see out there doing massive thing in any industry had their training phase, right? And they pull through to the end. That's why we're celebrating them. So if you're on this program, the whole essence of this mentorship is not for you to come and live with me in my house. You don't need to live with me to learn UI design. All you need is you have me available at at your disposal. Do you have me at no, 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 no. You have me available to you, right? You can reach out to me at any time because I'm available to you. You understand? And we're coming for live sessions like this. It's going to be bad if eventually you don't pull through. You get? Because like I said, we'll be doing a learning break in July. I'll give you tasks. Trust me. Don't think it's break like university break, right? I'll give you tasks to do. After this, I'm going to give you tasks. Then when we come in August, we'll take out one day in July to do project review. So if you have not started doing your project, please do your project. You understand? Weak men don't rule. You understand? They don't, look at, you see how my stuff is too big. I'll press Z on my keyboard to make it fit in. But there's a problem here now. You see that this thing is to one side. The reason is because, let me change the color so you understand what I'm saying. I'll go over to, if you just joined us, my newest student, I celebrate you, right? But don't fret. Everything I'm teaching them right now, the foundation is in that course I've made available to you. You understand? So I want to edit this background to red so that you will see the difference. We're talking about frames now. So you see my desktop size. You see how there's this space here and here because 16 inches is bigger than desktop. 14 inches is also bigger than desktop. So when you want to choose your frame, You can choose 14 inches or 16 inches, right? Or desktop. Like I said, since I started working in the company I currently work with, I make use of desktop frame for my, and I've seen other designers do the same, right? So, but the only disadvantage with using desktop is that you can't use a frame like this, a realistic frame. So what do you do in this case? I'll go to my prototype, click outside, I'm not selecting anything. I'll go to prototype, I'll make the device none. So if I make it none, no device, right? If I go back to my presentation, you see the way it's presented. So your frame, your desktop frame is what you used to do your design. So let's now go to the next thing, which is the design components. I introduced us to material design already, and I will say this to you for free again. What makes up your website or mobile app is your components, right? And I mentioned that component is a combination of two or more elements. If you know what elements are, begin to type it on the chat section. If you know what elements are, your elements are your text, your color, type the rest. Icons. So if you know what elements are, type it in the comment section. Type. If you know what elements are, type in the comment section. Who is Bruno? You can't see my screen. Who else cannot see my screen? I just switched now. I'm showing my face, but no, please. Typography, icon, shapes, amazing. So those are elements. So when it comes to website, right? Website, web app, you need to know the component your website, right? You need to know your design. We've talked about the difference. We've talked about the frames. When you want to design your website, you need this for your information. So if I want to do something like this LNG web, let me check other website I opened. So if you want to do a website like this that has this scrolling effect, right? You already know how to do overflow, isn't it? You already know how to do overflow, just like we did on mobile, right? So how do you do that for your desktop? If I have something like this now, you just need to hold control and click to drag. Let me go back to design mode. So if you have an overflow, you just need to drag the frame to the level you want, right? During presentation, let me even show you what I mean quickly. I really like practical, so I'll bring in this image inside here now. I'll centralize it, align it to the top. I'll bring in this next one. So I want to imagine that this is a website I'm building now, for instance. Let me get more. So normally my desktop screen is this size, but because the content is more than the normal frame, what do? I will drag it down. That's what I'm going to do. I'll select that desktop, hold control, drag it down. So let's imagine I'm doing portfolio websites. Just okay, I think this 3 is okay. So if I click on that desktop now and I go over to my present, see where I am. Present is to preview your work, right? And there are 2 ways to preview. Either you click on this drop down and you click on preview. If you click on this one, it's going to show on your screen just like it's loading now. But if I click on the second one, present is going to open in a new tab. It's opening in a new tab right now. So you see that stuff now. Okay. Whichever one opens first, we'll just. So when you present now, because we have this overflow, we will have that scrolling effect, right? Okay. Runa, I like the fact that you're following. Runa is our new student. I'm mentioning her name today. I don't know it's new here, but of course it's a lot catching up, but it's not a lot, right? All you just need to do is learn at your own pace while waiting, because everything I'm teaching these guys right now, when you take that course and follow it the way you should, you will just grasp all these things. And the live class will be made available even after the live class so that you can access it. I'm just trying to make the training as I saw something amazing today that triggered me. I wanted to share the WhatsApp group, but I didn't want to distract us, right? Somebody got a remote job, 5 years contract, 5 years with $1,200 salary per month. The company is in Germany, and the contract later has all expense paid trip to Germany after 2 years of working. So when the person works for 2 years, if I want to zoom this out, I'll press Z on my keyboard. Okay, so this is, you see the way it's going now. So this is the desktop. So I'm scrolling. So when you want to have that overflow experience, you just need to drag your frame down. You understand? So that's how it works. So I've told you about the difference. I've told you about the frame. Look at this one. I can just scroll up and down. You see me scrolling. So this is overflow, right? Overflow works when your frame is longer than normal. So the normal desktop frame size is, if I go 440 by 1024. Please, when you are adjusting, don't adjust the width. You will distort the frame size. You understand? Ensure is 1440 by 124. The only thing you can adjust is the height. You get? So let's now move to the next part of creating website. So let me go to LinkedIn and just show you a few things. So when you see a web app like this, we're moving now to components. First, I talk about difference. Next thing I talked about is how to create it on Figma, the how to choose your frame. Now, what are the design components you need to create your website? So basically, one of the key components is your navigation bar or your navigation system, you get. So we have two kinds of navigation. If you go to material design, you'll find them there. But let me just tell you as your coach. I might share my screen. Okay, I am. So the two kinds of navigation we have is top navigation bar. Any navigation system that is on the top here, on the top part of your screen, is called the top navigation bar. Another kind of navigation system we have is the side. The side, now look at this part now. So if I click on profile view, it's going to take me to a page. So, but this is like my major nav system, right? Is at the top. So if I click on home, if I click on my network, it takes me to a page. So your navigation system, the first component I need us to talk about is your nav bar. There are a lot of them. I'll just mention a few. Navigation system. So when you are designing, you design your home, your network. If I click on jobs, now it takes me to the job page. And let me also mention this, as a UI designer, you need to know, so when you are designing a mobile application, you are designing screens. But if you are designing a web application, whether it's a website or a web app, you are designing pages, page, right? So I will say this is taking me to messaging page. If I click notification, it takes me to notification page. Let's go to my, I don't open my Geek page. Let me open my Instagram. So if I go to Instagram or even Behance, let's do Dribble. Dribble, it makes sense. At least some of this stuff that are related to our design stuff. I'm clicking on Dribble. Dribble, you can create your account on Dribble, right? So it's a web app. So for web app, we have top navigation bar and side navigation bar. I'm trying to look for, okay, see what I'll do. I'll open my GeekPay account, but I will not show it. I'll show only my face while I'm opening it so that you don't see my password. It's when I'm inside, I'll show you. I'm trying to get in right, but my network is just unnecessarily slow. I don't know what's going on. Think the first gig I got was a mobile app, right? Yes, was a mobile app. But that's a period. In fact, when my door opened, because most designers, right, especially those ones that don't have mentor, like I didn't have mentor when I started. Yeah, I see. See, I'm even saying my email. Can you imagine? How many of you are like that? When you are typing, you'll be saying it. Gmail.com. So web app has who to cover some of the things a web app can have. Let's talk about the design component first. And the work of a navigation bar is to take you to different pages of that application. So my gig pay is up now. You can see welcome print. So look at this kind of, so it depends on the function, right, of that product you are building. Look at this one now. You can see the navigation is on the side bar. If you can see, type yes, or I can see. So unlike LinkedIn that has navigation at the top, like the main navigation, this girl, if you're a lady in my mentorship, go on LinkedIn and look for this piece. So when I see women in tech doing amazing stuff, right, I just for LinkedIn, she used to close deal like a lot. I'm debating. So LinkedIn has the navigation bar right on the top, but Geekpay has some other platforms. So I'm showing you these two different so that as you begin to engage with some of these platforms, as a designer, you need to see product differently. When normal people come on websites and applications to do stuff, they just want to do their solve their problem and leave. But when a designer is going through a product, they check out stuff, right? You can see this is a navigation bar. It's going to take me to the next component I have for us, which is card. Somebody type card. Type card. I like Runo's energy. She says she's next. Type card if you can see my screen. So remember I said what makes up your website or your web app is different design components. I've mentioned the first one, which is very common, is navigation bar. Your navigation menu or your navigation bar leads you to different pages on the website or web app. Look at this NLNG website. This home NLNG operation train career contact us. It's the navigation bar. If I go to look at this other one, you see the nav bar on top, how it works, product, sign in. So anything that requires you signing in is a web app, right? Sometimes they also have search because it's functional. You search for something and you engage, right? So some of the components we mentioned navigation bar. Somebody can be taking notes if you don't mind. Next is your card. If you go to material design, you will find all these components. Material design is material.io. Remember I said what you need to succeed in this method is just information. So if you go to material.io and you come to some of these things I'm showing you right now, in July when you'll be having your holiday, the holiday is not for you to go and sleep. The holiday is for you to hone your skills. So if I come over to components, both the ones that work on mobile and web, right? Just come and study them. Come here, come to component material.io, click on components. You say love components app bar, badges, buttons, cards. Come and study. This thing is like your textbook. Study this. I studied this thing when I was starting out. You know what components are interactive building blocks for creating UI interface. They can be organized into category based on purpose. So we have action components. So if I click, oh, this component generally, let's go to cards. So if I click on card, I'm going to see some examples of card, right? So come to material.io, read these things as your textbook. When the knowledge stick to your head, you will just know. When you wake me up tomorrow, I can explain all of this stuff, right? So these are card samples, right? Card displays content and action about a single subject. So this is wizard. This is like a card showing you about Wizard and Wiona 56 episodes. So if I go to my Geekpay now, you see this card now. It's showing me my available balance. Right now, my account is broke. You understand? But joy is coming. Joy is coming. You understand? Joy is definitely coming. So you can see, it's showing me my card shows what am I saying? Card displays content and action. So part of the component you use to build your website, your web app, is card. Apart from navbar, is card. So this card now is showing me my available balance in my all accounts, available balance in my British pounds account, available balance in my euro. I'm then broke right now, even in real life. But joy is coming. And another thing that gives me joy, okay, this exchange rate now is a card also that has table. So it takes us to our next component, right? We have card, we have table, table, table. Table, like, you know, your row and column, right? So this is the column, this is the row, right? So this transaction is showing me a list of tables. If I go to view all, right, you will see something. You see a list of tables. So when you are building websites, right, or web application, you need to take note of all these components, right? This is table. And not, let's go back to dashboard. So this quick action now is a card. This card has buttons. That's another component. If you are following me, please, somebody should be taking note. I mentioned navigation bar, I mentioned card, I mentioned table. Now I'm showing you buttons. So in as much as your navigation bar leads you to different pages, buttons also helps you take some certain actions. If you want to get more clarity about this thing I'm teaching, go to your material design.io, right? Material.io, you will see the explanation of this component. So if I click on send money now, it's going to take me to a page. I don't want to do, remember I told you that website is for information, but when it comes to application, web app, you are doing something functional, right? You are taking action, you are carrying out an action and all of that. So you interact with the application. That's why it's called an application, but this time around it's a web app. So I don't have money to transfer, so I'll click on my back button here. So if I click on, okay, let me click on this now. So if I click on this successful button now, it will take me to a page. So this thing now is called an overlay, right? It's not taking the full page, but it's giving you partial information, right? This was my last money I withdrew. You can see the amount. Me, I'm rich. I shouldn't be showing you guys this, but I'm showing you subtly so that you can pursue this career very well, right? And when I say joy is coming, I know what I mean. Very soon I will withdraw again. You understand? So what's it called? So if I go to, let's now go to LinkedIn and explore. I've shown you button, I've shown you card, then normal text, of course. This is a card. This receive payment region is a card. Invoice region is a card. You can see button. Okay, these are tags, right? They call them badges. It's showing me overdue, due, awaiting approval. If I click, this is a text button. For those of you that have taken the course, so those things I taught you in the beginning part, apart from doing them in mobile app, right, you will use them in website and web app. You understand? So when we created different kinds of button, outline button, field button, button with icon. This is a button with icon. Now send money, you see the button and icon. Convert fund, you see the convert icon, you see add fund. All these things you need to know them if you will do well as a designer, because I won't teach you, I won't design different websites. If I even do website design with you, it's just maybe one. I do be an entire website, but showing you that okay, web apps and website have different pages, it should enter your head, right? So when someone brings a project, you know that you are designing for different pages, just the way you design for different screens on mobile apps, right? Then you should now know the different components that form your website. And I mentioned navigation bar, very important. So if I click on let's go to bills. I don't pay bills here, I only collect money. So this one now they have internet. So if I click on buy airtime, internet, all these buttons will take me somewhere. So you need to know how to structure. We are discussing structure of a website now. So we have the nav bar, we have the cards, we have the text input. If I want to put, okay, all these are drop downs now. So if I click there, you select. So when you know the different component that should be in a website, let's go to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is made up of navigation bar, made up of your search components. I can search for something on LinkedIn. I stock a lot of companies on LinkedIn, right? When we get to the job part, I will show you some of these things. So your search component is another component, SEARCH. Someone might ask, how is such a component? It has icon, it has text, it has outline. So when you combine two or more elements, you are creating a component, right? This is a card. This card now has video, photo. If I click on all these things, it's going to take me somewhere. I've clicked on video. This is a pop-up. That's the name, pop-up. When you see this overlay and there's a component, look at this, my cancel button, right? So LinkedIn is made up. Okay, another thing you need to know about website and web app is there's a law called the Jacob's law. When it comes to Jacob's law, um Jacob's law means that if you are designing an application or a website, you design it like something that is already existing. So if I want to design a social media reference and inspiration, some of the places I'm going to look at for inspiration are already existing platforms, right? I always use sorry, excuse me. I use, for example, so you know Naira Best, check their website, you will notice that they are similar, right? That's Jacob's law playing out. So if I get a contract now to design a website, first thing I do is I will check if that project existing, right? Then I will see how those competitors did their index. I know, okay, I will now, when I do research, I will not Facebook right now that I've opened my Facebook. But LinkedIn is structured into three parts, right? The main, your feed rather, sorry. If I were some of you, I will go to some after this class, right? Of course, you already know. I will show you how to do the structure. What we are doing now is design component. I saw some person's work. In July, we will do review, right? That's going to be our longest session. We'll do our longest session in July because it's not going to be 1 hour class. We will do like 3 hours class, three hours class, where I'll be reviewing those things that are working on their project. I'll review. So even if you are working on your project, come and learn so you don't make the same mistake. You understand? So July will be having our review section. It's just going to be one class, but it's going to be very long, right? Because I'll be pointing out some things to put when you're doing that. And okay, we're talking about, okay, if I were some of you after this class, right, you should go and try out your hands. You can just come here, take a screenshot of this guy now, then go and design it on Figma, right? Type the name Techomet Champion, type brand identity designer, design this thing, learn how to, you don't need to do a full website. Start building different components. And when you are redesigning stuff, please, I always preach perfection. Don't design like they are putting cane or gun in your head, like you must do this. No, 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 no. When you are doing your designs, try. Am I sharing my screen? I doubt if I am. I'm not. Let me share my screen. Sorry about that. So I was saying, if I were you guys, right, when I will start going on some of these applications and studying them closely, why they make different design decision, then I will try to recreate. So I can just come here now and see this is a card, right, showing this guy, his post, the video, the comment part, right? It ends here. See this demarcation. So I can just come now and screenshot this part, take it to my Figma, try to design it. You understand? I can come now, screenshot this redeem offer, take it to Figma, try to design it. So one thing you need to start doing, and I tell people that you don't know design by learning. The best I can do for you as your coach is to give you access to all this information. We'll do one or two examples, but the real creativity in this thing will come out of you, from your soul, from your soul. And it can only come out when you get your hands dirty. You understand? It can only come out when you get your hands dirty. So if I were you, I would go to some of these, just like now I'm showing you my gig pay. Go and open gig pay if you are expecting dollars in the future. If I go to Upwork now, I don't want to go to my Upwork account. Go to some of all these your already existing platform. Go to Dribble. If you go to Dribble now, even Dribble is a web app. You can see the navigation bar, X-plore. This is a drop-down menu. When you see this arrow like this, it brings a drop down. So you will now start knowing design decisions, right? If I click on higher design, when you see this arrow, it means there will be a drop down. So if I want to design something that has a drop down, I will have to put this drop down icon. This is a card, navigation card. Some of you that have learned the prototyping, you should know how to do hover states. You understand? Some of those things I was teaching you guys, right? It doesn't work in apps. The only thing that can work in apps is maybe press state. When I press a key, it can do one particular effect, right? But when it comes to overstate works majorly on web. So this is a card showing me the information about this design. So if I hover around it, you will see the title of the design, UI/UX for VR, blah blah blah. You will see a button. This is save button, this is like button. You will see the person, the creative Hola Lab. You see their logo. You can come on these places, take a screenshot, maybe this part, screenshot this part, this screen you are seeing, take it to Figma. Let me even show you. I go to my sniping tool right now, SNIP. I will show you site for reference so shortly. I will have spent time. I have to start planning to close. If you want me to take extra 10 minutes or 20, type yes. Or if you want us to close, I can close. So I come over here with my sniping tool. This is how I improve my design. One of the things that helped my design skill was recreating designs, right? When you recreate that, you start understanding some psychology, like how to choose the right color, how to. But when you don't do those design, you just watch my videos and you say, oh, this guy thought this. You don't try it. Okay. We'll be watching you in the next 6 months, how far. But those persons that are really taking action and don't only, okay, for now, no, I won't have given you foundation, right? You can now build on it. Let me paste it. I'll just come paste it here. I'm not designing today. I'll just show you structure. I'll paste that here. It's pasting. Okay, I've pasted that. You understand? So if I go back to Dribble now, so if I want to design this stuff now, see what I'm going to do. Let's now go to structure. We're moving to the next part. We've talked about the difference. We've talked about the frame. We've talked about components. We want to move quickly to structure. Amazing, amazing. We want to move to structure. So if I want to replicate that design, this is what I'm going to do. Once I take my screenshot, I'll get my desktop frame, select desktop. Then I will bring it like this. So some of you now, I notice some of you build your components outside your frame. See what I do when I want to start. It's probably just button, and I will build button because I already know the size, right? But if you are starting a design as a newbie, I think you should start your design inside the frame. If I'm designing a mobile app, I start designing my components inside the frame. And you guys know my secret already. So if I want to design something like this, and see what I'm going to do, I map out the area. So I know that this first part is for navigation, right? This first part is for navigation. So I will come over here, select my rectangle tool, give that highlight. I've not started designing. Now I'm telling you how to structure your design when you want to start designing. Next thing I'll do now, this has 1, 2, 3, 4. By this time, you should have known layout grid, right? You should know that there's a margin here. Some of you that are just joining is in the course. Of course, you should have applied your grid. Let me apply so that you not say I didn't do it though. So I will come here, apply my layout grid. Where is layout grid? Layout grid. Okay, see it here. They've changed it to layout guide. I'll press plus. So for desktop, I already mentioned the value. You set this to column. Set the number of counts to 12. Then the margin. This thing called margin is this space. Your content, the space between your content to the edge of your screen. So for something like this, I can use 120. If I use 120, let's say it goes. Some web apps, see, I've typed 120 here. You see that space now. Some people can use 100. So some web app, right? Let's go to my gig page so I don't talk too much. So you can see my gig page now. The margin is not as wide as that Dribble. If I go to LinkedIn, you see the margin is freakingly wide, right? Somebody mentioned something you should know. No margin, no components, right? These are cards. Somebody can just come, go to your LinkedIn, screenshot it, try to redesign it. All those efforts you are putting is going to make you better by the day. You understand? I'm not doing this. Let's do the one I've screenshot. So once you've taken your screenshot like that, you've done I've added my margin. Next thing I'll do now, mapping out my area. So I'll take this rectangle, use alternate, click and drag. This square, we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, I assume. So because I've taken 12 as the count of my layout guide, 12 divided by 4 is 3, right? So I'll map this out. Somebody can call this low fidelity wireframe if they want, but I won't say it is anyways. So I'll use alternate to duplicate that. I'm getting value. I'm a website. Once you've gotten the structure, that's why wireframe is very important. You can now start building on it. You understand? So I would hold shift. If you want to select more than one item, you hold shift to do that. You understand? I will hold alternate, click and drag. I've duplicated that also. So let me assume this is my box. There's going to be a text under here, right? The box now is with that curvy edge. You can set all of those stuff by yourself, right? So I'll just reduce. I'll give it 16. I like working with the multiples of 8. I'll select more than one item by holding shift. I'll hold shift, click, hold shift, click, hold shift, click, hold shift, click, hold shift, click. Then I'll give it 16 corner radius. So I've given all of them corner radius at the same time. Then let's say I want to type this Ola Lab. It has the picture, right? That's it. So what I'm doing right now, I'm building my structure, right? We will try to do another structure. Then I'll show you reference. I will call it a day. I'll hold shift for a perfect circle. UI design has work, but that is why the middle of this, like I said, the weak people don't rule. If you are weak, you are not ready to do hard work, and you want to earn in dollars. Okay, you go and learn Yahoo. Even Yahoo is hard. You know, so if you want to do something legitimate, you work. You will work. Let me make this 8. Oh, that's too much. 16. Then I'll type. I'm building my. I've not started designing, but I'm just building my structure. Hello Lab. That's 90. You can see 90. So web fonts, will use 16 for our web fonts. The range is of 16 to 24, right? Depending on what you are doing anyways. But for body text, we use, I won't do so much here because of time. So once I'm done doing this, I will now start building. You understand? So I'll map out the area, then I'll start building on it. You understand? Let me just put this together with auto layout. Then I will sometimes, okay, let me not say that. I've added auto layout. I'm duplicating now. You know how to paste image, right? Let me see if I can paste something. So I'll go to dribble right now. Let me see if I can copy that. Okay, I can. I'll copy this image. If I bring this image over to my design now, so what I'm designing, I click on it. So when you are learning skills, trust me, what we're teaching is the how to, the process. You need to, and if you don't try something, you won't know how to do it. Let me open it and see. Okay, I think I can copy here better. I wanted that thumbnail detail sometimes. Okay, I am finding it. All right, click copy image. Go over to my structure I'm building. All right, the box. See, I've just done that. I'll go to dribble again. This thing now that is coming up now is a pop-up. So you can see the cancel button. So your buttons, your element, your component is playing a role, right? So you need to now calm down, study website and see why things are done the way they are done. You understand? Let me quickly, I won't do all, I'll just try to do the first row. Then right click, copy image, go to my stuff, click on the next one, right click, paste here. It's going to paste. Let me go and copy the next one. Has it pasted? It didn't paste. Wow. Let me paste again. Paste here. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah to the Lord. Paste here component, right? Practice makes perfect. I won't go further than this. So when I'm done, I'll turn off my layout guide. You come over here and click this eye to hide it. See that my website is already forming, but the goal is not to complete it, right? It's just to show you structure. Next thing I want to show us in this class before I call it a wrap is where to get reference, right? Where to get reference. So I'll introduce you to two websites I want you to explore, right? Apart from Dribble, I know I've mentioned Dribble to us, I've mentioned Behance. So if I want to design a landing page, for instance, I'll come here to the search. Let me go to home. I'll come to the search bar and search for landing page. Why I don't like Dribble for? Okay, I like Dribble, right? Because it gives me inspiration on how to arrange certain sections of my design. If I type LANDING or PAG, okay, landing page is the first, your home page, right, where you land before you go to your login page, before you go to your dashboard, before you go. So some pages, some common pages for websites, the login page, just like you saw my gig page, right? The dashboard, that's when you've entered inside. Just like now inside my Dribble dashboard, you it and all of that. So if you click on landing page on Dribble, you can get inspiration. So if I click on this one, for those of you that want to start getting, of course, I expect everybody in this class to try this thing I'm showing you right now. Come to Dribble, right? You will see landing page screenshots. I thought design presentation already, but that was for mobile. There's also design presentation for web. If you want to showcase your work, we'll do that during our internship, because after today's class, I'm not teaching you all through July. Work with the already existing information you have access to, and I want to see you guys do your project. So I can come to Dribble now and copy this, right click, copy, go to my Figma. Having learned about website and web app, if you want to practice, I'm showing you where to get reference now. You paste it on your Figma, then try to redesign it. You understand? You will make mistake, you find things challenging, right? But the truth is, if you don't design your first mobile screens, you can't be able to do the next one, right? So what I do right now, so since my desktop size is, the width is bigger than what I have here currently, I'll use my scale mode, right? By pressing K on my keyboard, it has moved to scale mode. So I'll just, let me bring this down a bit so that when I'm dragging it, I will drag from the edge so that, okay, I think I've achieved that. It's now the same width. The reason is so that I know that it's my frame size. I'm just going to, but the width is going to be almost the same thing, right? So when you get screenshot from Dribble, you come over here and replicate it. One other website I will show you is called Landing Folio. LANDING Landing Folio. You can get website inspirations there, already existing website, right? already 8:10. I have to wrap up now. Another website I will introduce you to right now. So for landing folio, if I click on inspiration and I go to sites and landing page, you can even get component inspiration here. Try your hands, get your hands dirty. Design cards, see this place, see different industries. You come here, check marketing, check technology, check software, check business. Somebody gives you a business website, come here, check how business website looks like. Right? Once you click on it, it will give you sample. Some of these tools are paid tools, but you can use the free version conveniently, right? Until you start earning dollars, you don't have to start paying for these tools. So I use this landing folio to get inspiration for landing page. Landing page is the home page for your website. So if I click on this first one now, for instance, if I were you, I will come to this website now and study how they do design. You understand? Study how they do design. Go on YouTube, learn more. You understand? Let me show you guys something. Can I? No. One project I'm currently working on now. I came here, check out the layout of this landing page, and I'm using this landing page layout for that project I'm working on. The thing is, your clients don't know all these websites, right? So they don't even know where you get your inspiration from. So what even makes designers good, when you see good designs, those guys know how to do research, they know how to find inspiration, right? So I can just like this and I say, okay, I want to structure my hero section the way these people do. I'll put my word here, my action button here, testimonial here, then snippet. You understand? This is just come. I won't give you more information because too much information is not good. I'd have shown you another website, but let's stop here because of time. So if you've been following, let somebody write what you've done so far. I know I've covered different website and web app. I've covered design components. I've covered the frames. I even showed you my GeekPay account. I went the extra mile. The goal of doing this, let me show you how much I've earned, right? Is to show you that okay, LinkedIn is top navigation. Why GeekPay is side by so applications. It will make more sense to you. You understand? So if you have question, type it now. Let's just use 3 minutes. Type now that card. Mustafa is saying respect. I don't know why. It's in my I don't know why I say respect, but respect to you, to respect to you. Excellence, 10 minutes. I like this guy, has been engaging. Any question as I leave you guys? July is a critical point for us because it's going to be our transition phase. Let me tell us a bit of my story. If you are under my mentorship, you should know my story, right? So when I learned UI design, I was living in my apartment, sleeping on the floor. You understand? But I've also said something in the WhatsApp with how we are three that learned. So what will make you succeed in this? But I'm saying this because not everybody is in this class right now. We're about 90 in the group, but only 10 to 15 persons are always showing up for classes. I don't know why. I'm a very busy person, but I still show up for you guys. Even if I teach you from now till December, if you don't take the action that is required of you, you won't succeed in this part, right? To my training, I still gave in to my commitment. What I know right now is, this stuff is just hanging and I'm not liking it. Let me just turn on my camera. So what I know right now is not all they taught me, right? I had to go the extra mile to keep learning, and you need to do the same. You understand? it's good to join mentorship like this. And I find it funny that most of you don't even reach out to me. I don't know if you are making progress or not. Every day I ask, are you doing your project? Few persons are doing their project. The truth is, if you don't follow my instructions, consume my content, right, finish up the course, take it like 2 times, and not just watch. You are taking action, you are learning, you are practicing. It's practice that make perfect. Quick one as I round up. When I got my first job, right, as a designer, very very junior designer then, in fact till tomorrow I used to bless that guy because that work opened the door to opportunities for me. What I showed to him that I've done my was my first, the project they gave me as a student, design student. I don't open that when I'm ashamed of the project, right? Let me take up another project. Just like I said, our next way you will choose. These are the process you need to follow to get this thing we are doing. Oh, if you don't follow this process, hmm, hmm, your journey will be long. It will take you 4 years. You will say, I have 4 years experience. You have not gotten job. It's getting your hands dirty that makes you strong enough to take up roles, right? So when that guy gave me an opportunity, he paid me 20,000 naira for that work. Yes, and when the next client came, I used to make noise on my WhatsApp status, UI design, this, that. So the next client came, and I said, Prince, I see you are doing UI then. Can you design an application, a web app? In our project, it was mobile app they gave us my own. They only taught me how to build those components, right? So that project was what I showed. The 20K project was what I showed the next person. He now paid me 70,000 naira for that work. Web app, I worked my ass out, put in the, but I was excited because I'm like, oh, I can now convert my skill to cash. It was making sense. That was my journey. When the next client came, I showed the next client. You see why your project is important. That's why I'm bringing up this story. When the next client came, I showed the next client the 70K work. That is what I've done. That one was 60,000, I mean 65. All this money was the money I used to go and marry. Oh my God, oh my God. You don't know what UIS that can do for you. Take it serious. Maybe your next car, and this is your building phase, right? So, but long story cut short, when I got my foreign opportunity, it was the 70K work I showed them that made them know you can do it. So it's not all about learning. You have to practice how to create buttons. You have to practice how to create card. You have to practice how to combine them together till it forms a screen or a page. You have to practice how to do multiple pages. This is how you build. If you don't, I know some person will still watch this video after now. If you are watching this video, your project is very important because if you don't do your first project, you can't do the next one. And if you don't do the next thing bigger, the experience I've built in the past 1 year working remotely for a company is what I will show my next company. So every experience in the design space matter. Question. Please drop the name of the website on the chat. I'll drop it in, okay, landing folio, and you can go on Behance. So I'll drop it on the WhatsApp group. Behance, Dribble, landing folio, even your current applications you have access to. Sometimes when I want to improve myself, even UI research, I go and sign up on applications so I can see what their interface looks like. Then I start designing. You understand? That will be a wrap for tonight's section. Trust me, July is going to be amazing. You already have access to, let me show something real quick. I'll not lie. I love you guys so much, so much. So if you go to your course now, let me go to my Google Drive, gogl.com. So what I'm going to do, so that people that join us recently and those that will join us after now, because every live session I've done, I won't do them again. It's a waste of time. The whole idea is have the information, right? So let me switch to my, okay, I think my WhatsApp is open. Let me just, where is this girl? Bruno, where are you? All these people that joined yesterday. So this is the 6 weeks training, right? If I click on it, so this folder has the information you need to move from beginner, absolute beginner, to pro when you start designing both website and mobile apps, right? I don't want to start going into it. Your project is here. This your live classes. If you open it, see this file, I'm going to update it. You will find our previous live classes, even the ones I'm going to do in future. I'll put all the links here. This is the first live class we did user flow, we did information architecture, we did UI research, we did presentation live. I'm going to make them available here for you, right? And you can access them from this your live class folder, right, inside the 6 weeks. Or you go to my YouTube channel. You go to my YouTube channel. I'm streaming. I hope I can access my YouTube. You go to my YouTube channel and check. I'll still make this available on the WhatsApp, but I'm just showing you so that in July you will not think because we are not learning you will be inactive. When we are coming in August, I told you we'll have one session in July, which is the project review section. It's going to be a long one. When we are coming in August, right, is for freelancing. I want to teach you how to, I can't access YouTube. It's basically for freelancing, right? So use this 1 month well, use it well so that when we start, you won't be feeling left behind, right? Thank you very much for staying to the end. I believe that by next year, some of you, one of my students reached out to me recently. He got a new project that is 450K, right? That's like his third project he's showing me that he got. This guy didn't have all this live session live, so he even bought it for 15,000. Then you understand, 15,000, but the money he has made, he didn't make money because he bought the course. He made the money because he bent down to learn the skill. So whatever amount you paid right now, welcome on board. But then it's not about paying, take your training seriously. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless you all. We meet in July, in August. Bye.